is Rafia. I'm a second year and I'm 19 years old, and I'm also one of the creators of this mental health documentary.
Okay, hi, my name's Katie, and I'm one of the makers of this documentary. I want to say I was in elementary school when I first got diagnosed with my anxiety disorder. There's just nothing wrong with getting help, and there's nothing wrong with just trying to get through things. Hopefully that's exemplified through this documentary. How many people would you say in your inner circle or your social circle deal with mental health struggles?
Sorry, it's not funny.
Everyone, yeah.
I would say majority, if not all of my friends deal with some aspect of mental health.
Everyone who I consider a close friend, I would say struggles with mental health issues.
Well, all of them are kind of mentally ill.
Since coming out to San Francisco, especially at this school, I've very much been in the hustle culture, in the grind, to a point where I've started to learn to use that as a way to numb my mental health some of the time.
Managing work, school, and social life is super hard for me. I put so much emphasis on the social life and just meeting new people and having fun with friends. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because I had all these amazing experiences, but definitely this year, so I put way more emphasis on finding a balance and prioritizing school.
Maybe the academic rigor is higher than what they're used to, and the old coping mechanisms that they used in high school no longer work. They're left saying, I'm not doing well in my classes, I don't know why. And they have to do some self-investigating. With adequate support, we're retaining students better.
Yes, me and Rob.
This is Rafia and Sanjeev.
Okay, bye.
Being trans has definitely been the biggest contributor to my mental health. There's so many aspects of the trans experience that aren't talked about, aren't really commonly understood, and as much as I love all the people in my life and the support that I have, there's just a lot of isolating feelings behind that are not even made accessible immediately by the mental health community. I think that it just comes down to daily life things. Being surrounded by my girlfriends talking about their situationships and crazy stories. Oh, I don't experience this on a normal situation because of these limiting, isolating factors, or comparing that to my own experience of, oh, you don't understand the half of it. You beat your face with makeup, I have to shave and do this, that, and the other thing just before I can even consider putting on makeup. There's just a lot of things in a daily life that people just wouldn't realize become so much more different when you're trans.
I'm Canadian, Native American, Latina, and Jewish. A lot of people in my community are being hated on, and it's really scary, and no one is really paying enough attention to how it's affecting the students. And I realize it's a touchy subject and it could make a lot of people uncomfortable, but as long as the school helps educate, which they can do, and they send plenty of emails about the most random things, they can at least throw in something a little bit more important. Everyone kind of just keeps to themselves about all of this and just kind of lets it simmer, which only creates more hatred and more of a problem.
I think with my appearance and my sexuality, I completely changed the way I look quite recently, and I do feel more comfortable in myself. Some of my friends back home especially, they do act differently towards me now, and that really stung, I guess, because I feel so much more myself that they aren't able to accept that. That really hurts. Yeah, just heartbreak. That describes the entire feeling.
Just as a Black woman, my entire life, it's just something that I've always had to think about. I don't have a choice but to acknowledge it because it affects my life in every way. And even though I am really proud of who I am and where I come from, I have to work harder to get the opportunities that I want.
Personally, I feel like Gen Z has a way better understanding of mental health than my generation ever did. And so I think there's something to be said for awareness and seeking services.
They honestly should start incorporating base, like the black student stuff. CAPS can bring in black people to help them out, and then they're not doing that. That's why a lot of black people don't go to CAPS, because they don't have that proper representation.
My first year, I did reach out to CAPS. There was a month period when I just got super sick. I don't know if it was frat flu or what was going on. I don't feel well, like mentally, physically, anything. I met with someone from CAPS and they were really nice and helpful, but I didn't end up meeting with them again just because setting up like ongoing meetings was super weird for some reason. So I was just like, okay, forget it, it's fine.
One person I talked to in CAPS was really kind. I couldn't schedule more than 2 meetings per month, but I felt like I would need to meet a lot more times to be done with like the introduction phase. But like, I understand what you're going through, and now let's get deeper. But like, I never made it to that point. I felt like it was just, I wasn't getting very far.
Don't know too much about it, but I do hear like some of my friends who have gone to them, they don't necessarily have the best experiences, and so I hear that, so it doesn't really motivate me to like reach out.
I never want to hear someone doesn't know about SDS. It's totally fine to know about us and be like, I'm not ready, or that's not for me.
It's easier said than done with SDS, unfortunately. I wish it was a little bit more straightforward. I have talked to them before a few times, and I'm still unsure on how they're supposed to help me. It's very confusing and a lot to get their attention and get meetings with them.
It's like a Tetris game almost every day, trying to fit people into rooms so that they can get adequate testing accommodations. If we were to get bigger and require more specialists to work with students, we don't have a place to put them. They don't have an office. So what does that mean? What does that start to look like?